Okay, so I finished up with exercise 5. Now I'm on to exercise 6. For this one, we want to use our if statements to say if something happens, if the user does something, then something else will show on the screen. So I've got my two fish over here, and I've got I think I got them backwards because I don't want them to swim backwards. That would look weird. So I'm actually going to change these just a little bit. So let me come up here, fish, 50-50. So let's actually make it 50 and 350. Actually, sorry, 350 and 50. And then for the other fish too, we'll make it 350. And then we'll say for the X, we'll just make it 50. So let's see if we try this. If we run that there. There we go. Now I'm going to have it, we're going to say if the fish is clicked on, then it's going to move this way. So every time you click on the fish, it's going to move a little bit over, and this fish will move a little bit over that. Okay, so in order to do that, I need an if statement. So I'm going to go to the control section here, grab my if statement, and let's do this right before the draw sprites. Okay, and we're going to go to two if statements because we got one for each fish. All right, so we're going to say if, and then in the world section, there's all sorts of things. We have key went down. If you we have key down, key went down, mouse went down, mouse did move, that kind of stuff. The X and Y position. So these are all the different conditions you can use here. What we're going to use for this one is I'm going to use mouse pressed over. So if mouse pressed over the fish, then it's going to move. I'm going to do two of them, one for each fish. So if mouse pressed over fish, that was my first name. The second fish name was fish2, is what we called it. So if mouse pressed over fish, then we're going to say fish.x is going to change. So we need to make sure we change that to fish.x equals fish.x equals fish.x minus 5. So every time you click on the fish, it's going to move over. And then the same with the other. It's going to move the other way. And this is fish 2. So got an extra piece there. Let's see. There we go. So fish2.x equals fish2.x plus 5. So this one's going this way, the other one's going the minus 5. So that should work. Okay, so if we reset this and run it, we can click. Oh, and that guy's going this way. This guy is not working. So what is going on? Oh, fish 2. I thought I did that. So I messed up there. So fish 2. Let's try again. Run it. Okay. Every time you click, or even if you press and hold, it should work. Okay. All right. So we got the fishes moving back and forth. Let's see here. Necessary actions inside the. Let's go one more. Let's go one for the crab. So let's go control here. If and let's say the arrow keys for the crab. If key down left, then he's going to move left. Crab.x equals crab.x minus 5. So we've got a condition for him. So if we run this, there we go. And let's have him move the other way as well if we press the other key. Or we could have him travel to the right. Let's have him travel to the right if you're not pressing it. So let's use an else. Let's use an else. If you hit this plus here and you already have an if statement, you can say else, something else is going to happen. So if key down left, the crab's going to move to the left. Else, crab's going to move to the right. So we'll say crab.x equals crab.x plus 5. So let's try that. So we reset it, we run it. Oh, he's moving. Every time I let go, he moves. Okay, and that's fine. We're going to reset that. So it wants us to do a challenge. Can we create sophisticated conditionals by nesting them or using compound Booleans? So we can use something a little bit more difficult here. So let's say he's only going to move left if his position is not too far over. So maybe if it's as long as he's greater than 10, he'll move to the left. Otherwise, he won't be able to. So in order to that, we can do another if statement. This is a nested one. Now this one you don't have to do nested, but we're going to do it for this one to make it a little more complex. So we're going to say if crab.x, and we'll need a math one for this. We'll need greater than. If crab.x is greater than, so I'm going to throw this out. Crab.x is greater than 10, then we want him to be able to move to the left. Okay? And then else, I'm going to throw another one in here, make it else. So else if crab.x is less than 395 or 390, then he'll move to the right. So now he's actually only going to move to the right if his position over here is less than 390. And he's only going to move to the left if you press left and the crab is his position is greater than 10. So he stops on that side and he stops on this side. Okay, so for this next part, you'll just want to go ahead and add some variable that gets updated as the user interacts with the card, or if a sprite moves to a certain part of the screen. So I've done it here is I've gone ahead and taken an if statement and brought it over here. I'm going to say if the fish x is less than 50, then I'm going to put some text in that says, let's see if I fix this here. You made it. Okay, and then that's going to show up at, say, 50 and 15. So let's just see if that works here. And I'm not seeing anything happen, so let's see what the problem is. I'm going to refresh this real quick. You made it. Okay, so that worked. Okay, so then maybe I'll want another if statement for my other fish. So we're going to come here and we'll go if, let's say if fish 2 makes it to the other side, then maybe he'll just grow and fill the screen. So if fish 2.x is greater than 375, then what we'll want to happen is fish will start growing. So sprite.scale, actually I'm going to use math. So where's the equals? Oh, it's not there. Okay, so that'll work. Let's go back over here, sorry. Sprite.scale and make sure it matches here. So fish2.scale equals fish2.scale plus, fish2.scale plus 0.1. Okay, and let's say we only want him to grow to a certain size because we don't want him to grow forever. So we get this fish across here and he starts growing. Okay, so that's about it for this code here. I'm just going to you guys can go ahead and create what you need to. You'll continue through lesson through the lesson and add whatever you need to your card. So here's just some examples of what we did. We made the crab move if you use your arrow keys. We made the fish moves if you click on them. And then once he gets to a certain point, he starts to grow. This guy over here, we click on him, he goes the other way. When he makes it there, it says you made it. So you can really do what you like with this card, but that's just kind of some ideas.